So there you are, thinking shit is sweet. You got this cool chick, you think she's cool, everything's going A-okay, you like her, you think she really likes you, everything's fine and dandy, right? All of a sudden, she starts being distant. All of a sudden, it's almost like she doesn't even like you anymore. Or even worst case scenario, or best case scenario, depending on how you look at it. She breaks up with you, and you're left standing there asking yourself, what the fuck happened? How did we get here? And there's some clear warning signs to avoid standing there looking like a dickhead. And today, we're gonna talk about it.
Let's talk about it, people. So you got a girlfriend, everything's all good, and then suddenly, next thing you know, sex just becomes non-existent. Now, we've all heard the cultural jokes about marriage and how once you get married, say goodbye to your sex life. And just all that type of shit, all that goofy ass shit. And a lot of guys, when we get into these relationships, we have a hard time reading chicks' signs because chicks are so passive that they'll smile in your face while secretly, they could be falling out of love or falling out of attraction. Their pussy could be drying up like the Sahara Desert, and all the while you're sitting there completely clueless because she's sitting there like, haha, yeah, baby, I'm having a good time. But really, she's not. And it's all in the eyes.
She'll never tell you.
Never, ever. Until it's too late or she's monkey branched over to the next dude that she gonna run into the ground. So today we have Kat representing Team Woman.
Hello, guys.
Welcome back again, Kat.
Hello.
Always a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
What do you think is like the first let's just like not waste any time. What do you think is like the first telltale sign? That's how you say that, right? Telltale sign that a girl's like just losing interest. You're a girl, so.
What do you do when you start losing interest? What are usually like? What's the first thing that happens?
Pull away.
You pull away.
You stop writing as frequently. You stop looking for the person as much. You make excuses. You
sound experienced in this.
So basically
bitch getting cold, man.
Flaky behavior.
Yes.
So when you start
Indirect.
seeing flaky behavior, that is a sign that you're losing interest, huh?
No, but seriously, like the male intuition, man. We have an intuition that's not given credit for. When you feel something slipping, you just feel like something ain't quite right. You may be wrong, but there's a good chance that you may be right. Trust your instinct, man.
Something off in the air. You feel that feeling in your gut, and you're like, yo, my bitch getting her back blown out in the house right now. Well, I'm at work like a chump.
Time to bust in there with a 12 gauge shotty, put it to their bodies, and then hope the police don't find you.
And then you end up in a fucked up situation. So look out for the warning signs. I feel like another warning sign is when a chick starts doing stuff that she would never do before, or starts checking you on shit that she never checked you on before, which is like, it almost seems as if she's searching for a fight. When you see that she's like always irritable and always searching for a fight, or just looking for excuses to bitch at you, it's like
She's trying to self-sabotage.
It's a good chance that she's fucking tired of you, bro. And she's trying to
I know.
get you to
Niggas
fucking
do
dump
that
her
shit.
because she's too spineless to dump you herself. So she's trying to get you to fucking, get sick of her the same way she's sick of you, so you could dump her and she could avoid all responsibility. Because that's what they do, folks. They avoid responsibility. So God forbid that she just be like, yo, yeah, I'm not feeling it anymore. She's gonna stay there and fucking sabotage herself until you finally fucking realize that this bitch ain't shit.
Exactly. If you do something wrong, they'll be like, oh, it's because he was a dick and all this type of shit.
excuses.
But, yeah, if you didn't do anything, then she'll just be like, well, he wasn't there for me. Or maybe he was too boring. Or, you know what I mean? It's like the whole Chris Rock joke about the whole cloudy diamond dick. About how you could fuck a bitch with a diamond dick and she'd be complaining about it. She'd find some way.
She fucking has one of those, jewel look that you fucking look at the jewels through, fucking like saying your dick is cloudy. But we've been through a lot of shit, bro. And while we've had fucking crazy amounts of success with women, we've also had just fucked up situations because it's just the nature of the game. name a fucking situation where you find yourself in where a chick, eventually probably just faded away, or that you wasn't on point with the fucking, you just slacked a little, didn't look at the warning signs, and got caught slipping.
Oh yeah, I could say that. Oh, my first girlfriend in middle school, we was going out, and
Okay.
how do I
Going
say
way
this?
back. Mhm.
Yeah, that's how far I have to. I usually don't really suffer from this problem, so I had to really go far back. And I'm not just trying to brag or nothing, but my first girlfriend in middle school, we were going out, and I would make out with her, and I didn't really take it nowhere else because I was just like fucking 13. I just didn't even think anything else could be possible. So it was just at a point where it was just like me making out with her, sitting around, and eventually she just basically broke up with me.
Like the novelty wore off for her or some shit.
Yeah, because it wasn't going anywhere.
Exactly.
I'm not going to say anything else because I ain't trying to get arrested by the feds, but let's just say she probably expected to go somewhere else, and my little ass was just not, my brain wasn't even there. I was just happy I was making out with a bitch. I was like, oh shit, kissing the bitch.
Fucking hype as fuck.
That's why that whole like, girls are innocent thing is so overblown. I'm innocent. Bitch, I'm innocent. I'm just glad to be holding hands and kissing you. These bitches trying to get dick down.
You're fucking clutching your rosary as she just claws at you.
No, but at the time, it felt like it came out of the blue. And I'm sure for a lot of dudes, like, that's how they feel. They probably didn't even realize it until she just, like, randomly hit them up and was, like, broke up with them.
Come on, like, what are some more warning signs? What are some more things to look out for if you're, fucking with a chick, and just certain things that maybe someone might not think that it's nothing to worry about, but some subtle, maybe anything, just
the thing is that
think about.
there's definitely little signs that you need to make note of, like little just analytical signs to make note of. But
Yeah, you're right about the intuition. It's like if you just know, if you're around a person enough, you know how they act every day. You know their mannerisms, you know their behaviors, and if
yeah, for sure.
they just switch off, it's hard to ignore certain things. Your intuition is so strong. If you feel like something's off, it's because there probably something is probably off.
She's also a girl though, so I feel like girls are a little bit more.
Guys have intuition.
Because I was actually gonna say, like, what it comes down to is
A
not
little
so
bit.
much the little signs, but like the
girls
overall
leave.
energy.
Yeah.
Overall energy, guys.
If there was a little sign, I would say it's in her eyes. Like a chick can't fake her eyes. When chicks have that disinterest, I could just see it from like a mile away.
Fucking glassy look.
Yeah, it's
as
like
opposed to
this
that glimmer in
ever
their eye when they're so interested in everything you have to
Yeah.
say.
Their eyelids are just like ever slow, slightly lazier. Can't explain it. You have to fuck a lot of bitches to understand what I'm talking about. I just witness a lot of shit. Here's a better question. You ever had a situation where a friend of yours was going through that situation and you wanted to save the dude but you couldn't? Or like, you could just see the car crash coming. She was just running the dude wild and he was jumping hoops. Meanwhile, she's there just biding her time. So the next dude she's gonna run into the ground.
She says hurtful things. If she's purposely just being an asshole, she's out of nowhere just saying little things to just, yeah. I think you mentioned that, like picking fights and also.
Yeah, little picking at you.
Just little things.
And girls have a special ability to just pick at you. Especially petty bitches that ain't shit. They have a way of just trying to really get under your skin. Like, again, they're emotional creatures. So, like my boy said in the past podcast, they know how to really hit you low if they want to.
Before we even, start talking about warning signs, but we gotta talk about some ways. Fucking break a girl out of that ADD shit where you always, like, you shouldn't even fucking have to be worrying about that shit. Always fucking being on top of putting in the effort and fucking always on, and like almost feeling like you're always in fucking defensive mode. Like, yo, You know, like, is she still acting cool? Is she still giving me pussy? Is she still fucking, do her eyes still light up when she comes around me? Like, if you fucking carry yourself in a way where you guys are giving each other space and you don't fucking make her entitled to the point where everything you do for her, or like all the time all the time you spend with her, she's ungrateful about it, then you're gonna end up in that situation. But if you don't do that, she's gonna like naturally appreciate you more. So it's harder for her to fucking lose that interest, because you never let it get to the point where, you know, you're like losing your novelty, or you're fucking, or she's getting sick of you because like you're spending too much time together. They might act like they want to spend all this time with you, but after they spend all that time with you, they get fucking bored. And it's like, naturally humans get fucking bored, because that's the point we are. We're fucking on some ADD shit now. Just give each other space. Don't chill so many fucking times a week, where to the point where it becomes a routine and shit gets boring. Like, I never want to feel like I have to be fucking entertaining a girl all the fucking time. Like, make sure shit isn't boring.
Yeah.
So what you do is you space out the time that you chill. That way you fucking appreciate each other more. The time that you actually do have together.
Yeah, hell yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's a good ass point. Just as far as we talking about how to solve the fucking problem, what about preventive measures? You know, preventative measures. Because if you prevent this shit from happening, you don't have to be worrying. You don't have to be over here crying about how to get her back, because you see the cards as it's being played before it even happens, because you're already taking those measures. And that ultimately, you know, like my boy said, it comes down to making her invest and do shit. Because if you're sitting there thinking every week, what do I gotta do this week? What am I doing that week? Or she's still into me, all that type of shit, as opposed to having her, you know, oh, what's good? Like, what outfit are you wearing for me this week? Like what plans are you creating for us this week? Like, exactly. Pushing her. You going to the gym? Like, are you still improving? Blah blah blah. Yeah, like, how's the numbers? Always
to look forward to.
Yeah, always making her progress in her own investment, because that's ultimately that's what's gonna last forever. Not just that, but even sexually too. Not just sitting there going, okay, next week I'm gonna be juggling 3 fucking chainsaws with a midget with a strap on or some shit. Like, this shit make no fucking sense to just be there or every single week thinking of some shit you have to do. The way to make shit last long term with a chick is to make her invest, because ultimately that's the only way you get real gratification from something.
Tighten your belt and take control, man. That's the only way that it's fucking sustainable. Like, trying to fucking please a chick all the time is not fucking sustainable. Thinking of it in that frame of, I gotta make sure she's not fucking losing interest or being bored, is not sustainable. The only thing that is sustainable is you being a G-ass motherfucker, making her excited to do shit for you, making her excited to fucking fulfill your fucking fantasies, instead of you fulfilling her fantasies all the fucking time.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. That is absolute truth. Do you have anything to add, Cap?
I agree with you with that point of having to look forward to something, and also like putting in work. It does feel good to like put in effort and trying to look good for your man, and just doing things to please him, and just looking forward to those moments.
That was a good copy paste answer, but what about the real answer? We're just kidding, folks. Here at the Unleashed Podcast, we keep it real all the fucking time, because if we don't, you know, who will? There's so much shit out there ultimately that is just, it's a big front. That's the shit. We're all about duality. There's the sun and the moon. There's evil and good in all of us. So when you see all these people out here, like in businesses or just commercialized, people are getting sick of that. People getting sick of this sitting there with a smile on their face and just, no one's happy all the fucking time. It's okay to show that frustration, because if you sit there and act like you're perfect, now you have to maintain that image. As soon as there's a blemish, everyone's like, look at this fake ass nigga. You know, you were giving this image like you're such a good fucking person.
Yeah, you were bringing her fucking chocolates and roses and fucking making her bubble baths with fucking rose petals in it and shit.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to. And part of that is also weeding the chick out herself. You know, you can't just assume a pretty fit, because that's the thing about dudes when they're in scarcity, is the next pretty girl because especially because you know we're all taught in society to think of shit so serendipity, like especially females. But that's because with female they don't put any effort in the approaching, so they could live in that la la fucking land. But as a man, that's not your place to live in that fucking la la land. So you don't meet the next pretty girl like, okay, this is the next potential girlfriend or wife. You automatically are like, I'm going to see how she is first, because you should know automatically that no one out there is 100% good or whatever the case. Everyone's dualistic, especially these bitches. So when you're with these girls, you have to weed them out from the start for them to even be into your shit, because even if you're the shit and if you're around a chick who has ADD, it's just unbearable long term. It doesn't matter how fucking cool you are. They just some dumb bitches, man. Ain't nothing you can do. You can't save them.
You know what I be doing, man? I be telling bitches, I be like, you on probation, yo. You're on a probation period, yo. If you do any fucking petty or fucking ain't shit type of fucking shit, then you already know, yo, you could kick rocks, bitch. Cause at the end of the day, yo, fucking life is motherfucking short. So you gotta, you know, value your time more. So be careful. Listen to my man's Jen over here, man. Weed them out. Put them on probation.
Weed these goofy bitches out, man. For the love of your children and your children's children. You want to deem your generations forever? You want to do that just for a pretty face? It's not worth it, man. What about dudes who maybe they're not in a relationship with a girl long term, or maybe they're not seeing a girl long term, maybe they just met a girl and had sex with her once or twice, and then she just bam ghosted? Because there's a lot of guys, you know, we hear they have that problem, and maybe even happens consistently. Even if it's not the first or second time, maybe they just, after a couple times, they never get to that point where the chick is desperately trying to tie them down. The chick just ends up categorizing them as just a little placeholder for a bit, and then they just disappear like that.
That's usually the guys that fucking, you know, that fucking validate a chick's need to tie somebody down, or validate a chick's obsession with trying to be on top, but secretly not wanting to be on top. Because I don't care what they tell you. I don't care what these feminists say. Women don't know how to fucking lead shit as far as fucking around, or, you know, whatever, like my boy was saying, just fucking with this girl. So you always have to be in control. Bitches are lazy. They'll fucking dip as soon as they feel like they have to put in that effort without you getting them hooked first. So what you do is you don't fucking set that precedent, and you make her do shit first. Matter of fact, what you should do also is, girls are so fucking egotistical.
Yeah, she-go-tistical.
She-go-tistical.
Bitches in their she-goes, man.
At first, you might have to fucking initiate everything and fucking take control of everything to fucking show that you could do it. We all know she's not going to. So you might have to do that early on, but don't keep that going, or she's gonna fucking just get bored, bro.
Yeah, and early on, like, if you have sex with a girl, they should be chasing you. Like, once you get the vagina, they immediately freak out. Not all the time, but if they know you're the shit and they really like you, and they're like, oh, I got a rare specimen, and I just gave up my power, aka my vagina.
That's what I gave her value. Like, she gave up the value she thinks she has.
Exactly. So once chicks do that, they're automatically in a vulnerable state, in a defensive kind of state, where they're gonna kind of, basically, they're gonna reach out to you. If you smash a chick, just play it cool, man. You don't have to be like, when's the next time we're gonna see each other? None of that shit. Just play it cool, dude. If she really likes you, she's gonna come around. She's gonna hit you up again. This is gonna happen. Don't freak out. Just play it cool. Ultimately, yeah, like my boy said, don't fall into the frame. Okay, we did this. We went out. So now are you gonna be my girlfriend? Like, this ain't fucking elementary school, man. Drop that shit. It's not your place as a man to go for the relationship. Trust me. If you date enough girls, you will soon find out very shortly that they all try to tie you down. So it's something that where you're immediately like, okay, this is some nature shit, where they are just there to do that shit, not me.
Yeah, so don't bring it up first. Don't even fucking mention the concept of you guys fucking being boyfriend and girlfriend. Let her do that shit, because that's in her nature, she's gonna be like, what the fuck? Like, girls, I've had stories of girls have told me where like, yo, this nigga is mad clingy, or like, yo, he fucking wanted me to be his girl mad early, like we only went on one date, or like, or shit like that. Or we only fucked one time, and he was like mad attached and shit. So that shit is inherently mad fucking unattractive. So just don't think that you gotta fall into what you think they want, because it's half of the time it's not what they really want.
Yeah, especially hot chicks. Hot chicks will weed chicks dudes out because a lot of dudes will get attached right away. So they always looking out for that shit. Like, is he getting attached? And whatever the case. Here's the thing. Think of it like this. Early on when you meet the girl before you have sex, the fucking dynamic between the male and the woman is that you're trying to get her, you're trying to get laid. So you're trying to do a bunch of shit while she approves of you or whether or not, right? So if naturally after that happens and then you do fuck her, afterwards she starts trying to tie you down. So if the earlier part is a song and dance for you to prove yourself to her, and now she's trying to tie you down for a relationship, that now has to become a song and dance for her to prove herself worthy to be in a relationship with you, not the other way around till eternity. That's not the dualistic balance. You feel me?
Naturally, things have to shift. Shit has to flip to the other side. The pendulum swings, man. Girls have it all fucked up. They honestly think that all guys want is pussy, yo. Maybe one of these guys who fucking live in scarcity and never get any pussy, so pussy has a high value to them. But pussy ain't special if half of the population has it. There's so many fucking girls out there. There's so many bitches out there. What is fucking unique about having a pussy? So you can't put that type of value on it, or naturally you're gonna be fucking playing dancing monkey. Since girls fucking think that we only want pussy, they think that's all they have to give, and we have to show them that that's not all they have to give. It's the only way to keep shit going, because that's how you do fall into fucking trying to fucking prove yourself to her all the time, like my boy was just saying, because you don't think that maybe she has to prove herself to you. So in the first place, don't let girls think that all you want is pussy. That's a recipe for disaster, man. Bitches get lazy.
I just thought, but girls, like, they need romance to even get their vagina wet long term, to a sense. It's like, that's why I feel like chicks are described to be the romantic of the two sexes. But to me, it's like, is it romance, or is it just that you need the romance, the emotional part, to become aroused?
That's an interesting concept.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, is it even that you're romantic, or is it just that the physical action isn't enough for you to
gotta have this whole fucking,
for your pussy to be wet, and for you to commit to the situation. So it's like, bitch, you're not even romantic. You just need the romance for your vagina to get wet. I think we strayed off topic a little bit.
It's all good, cause
bitches and they getting cold towards you, man. How to deal with the situation?
bro, I really don't know how else to fucking put it, man. You gotta fucking from the beginning set it up that way. That's the only way, man. You can't fucking think about how she fucking, if she impressed by you, is she fucking still interested? You can't think about that shit. You're gonna drive yourself crazy, and you're gonna end up looking mad fucking unattractive. So that shit fucking dries a girl's pussy up like the fucking Sahara. So just don't do that shit from the beginning, and that's half the work right there.
And if you're on damage control because you fucked it up, here's the thing. If you're the shit and you take some time apart, she will eventually come back. Because most of these bitches ain't shit. And they eventually, when the next thing fizzles out, they're going to hit you up and be like, oh, hey, I just wanted to see how you were doing. All that type of bullshit, which you know is fucking bullshit. Like, bitch, why you hitting me up? What just failed miserably that you hitting me up to ask me how I'm doing? What girl cares about what anyone randomly is doing?
Bitches love hitting you up after they break up with their boyfriend, or after the boyfriend
this shit
breaks
is
up
so shameless.
or they get their quote unquote heartbroken. They love hitting you up, yo. Oh my god, yo, that is yo. Thanks for bringing that one up, man. Because that shit has happened to me countless times. I think every chick I ever been with has fucking eventually hit me up after her next boyfriend or one of her next boyfriends like just didn't work out for her. Because these bitches are shameless, man.
Yeah, man.
So that's an interesting way to look at it.
Yo, Kat, you ever seen some ain't shit bitches? Not you, of course. You ever seen some ain't shit bitches just fucking lead their boyfriend on? Meanwhile, you know that they're getting sick of them, but they're just kind of there, like using them as a placeholder for the time being.
Of course, because they don't want to be alone. They want to be entertained and continue that stimulation until they can get somebody else to stimulate them. So a lot of people are just afraid to be by themselves and afraid to they need that constant stimulation, and it's like they will keep someone there that they do not want to be with, and they will like just like leeches and suck them dry.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Since girls are passive, they can't
they leave breadcrumbs everywhere, but
do some shit. So it's like whatever they get, they have to almost leech as much as possible because they have to just wait around till the next whatever the fuck.
That's why. You know where that comes from? That comes from a place of maybe entitlement or a place of like feeling above somebody. So what you gotta do, man. You gotta fucking let these bitches know that nobody's irreplaceable. Like nobody is irreplaceable. You could have your world is not gonna end if she leaves you, and if she knows that your world is not gonna end if she fucking leaves you, that's only gonna fucking trigger something in her brain. Like, yo, like what the fuck, this nigga is this shit. Like he does not give a fuck if I leave or not. So and some girls in my frame, I was like, that's a little manipulative, like always hanging that over somebody else's head. But if I don't do that, you're gonna fucking abuse me, because that's what girls do, yo. They abuse you, so they're gonna take advantage of you if I don't do that. So the only solution, and look, just let me handle this. I know how to keep you around long term if you just let me do what I do. So never let a girl feel like she's irreplaceable, bro, or she's just gonna feel like she has that power over you, and she's gonna do shit like that, like leech off you, and just feel like she could just waste your time. Like you can't, find somebody else because she thinks you have no fucking options. And if she thinks you have no fucking options, what's she gonna do?
She gonna fuck with you, man. She gonna be picking at you. She gonna be like, he gonna take this shit. This nigga can't get no bitches.
Exactly. So I don't care how bad a bitch is. I don't care how good she looks. Never let her feel comfortable to the point where she could be like, or just never let her get comfortable to the point where she thinks that you would be lost without her, man.
Yeah, that shouldn't be the case for anybody.
All right, but we ain't talking about anybody. We talking
I'm
about.
not talking about.
Talking about
things that I'm turning, switching
men
it up.
out here. Right?
I'm not talking about that. Wasn't intentionally trying to switch it up.
Nah, yeah, I feel you. Naturally.
Yeah.
So let's say you and your missus break up, and then in the future, you move on. Maybe you got kids. Maybe you gotta see a kid from this bitch, and you can't avoid not seeing this ugly bitch's face. All right. So here's what you do. You just show up to pick up your kid with the baddest bitch you can find. And then you win. You win.
And
they will not be able to hold in the saltiness. They're going to be like, let me put her in the car. No, let me do it. They're going to be looking all in your car, trying to see who they ain't shit.
Yeah, because girls have that, once again, that fucking she-ego. So...
Exactly. She could not even want you. But then you show up with a badder bitch, and now suddenly
it strokes the competitive fires. Because fucking, you think guys are competitive? Girls are OD competitive with each other. It's just, you gotta frame it that way. So if she thinks you ain't shit, she's not gonna fucking compete for you. But if you show up with a chick that's OD fucking bad, that shit flips that switch like, yo, competition mode.
Yeah. Shit get real. Get real on you, bitch. Real fast. Any last thoughts, guys, before we close this up, we wrap this up? So our Unleashed gang out there.
Yeah, absolutely. Remember, guys, don't fucking worry about if she's losing interest or not. Don't frame it in that way. Just make her keep you interested, and you're gonna find that you find success in holding girls long term from now on if you just switch the way of thinking from depending on her fucking mood to depending on your fucking mood.
Sounds good to me, man.
And with that being said, guys,
Unleash your best, and until next time, peace.
peace.
Peace.